returning to Asia was like Return of the Jedi. Yes. He returned armed with a chemical engineering degree from one of the top universities in the UK. He had a mastery of the principles of thermodynamics. He had the periodic table imprinted into his brain. He could tell the difference between red, green, and blue kryptonite. And with all this knowledge, he did the only natural thing you could do. He went into banking. And that is where he thrived with both the knowledge of chemistry and a sure footing on finance and economics, which he applied very well on his return to Asia. Firstly, on chemistry, he learned very quickly that if you mix alcohol with the bloodstream, you get a hangover. And in finance, economics, he applied it when he went out chasing girls. He really understood the principles of supply and demand. So I used to chaperone him on nights out, being a good wingman. And he would approach the bar and he would think to himself, in order to induce supply, I would need to signal demand, right? It's a signaling mechanism. So how did he do this? He went to the middle of the dance floor and he said, I need a supply of women. What do? I need to signal demand. He would stand there with his arms like this and look as desperate as possible. And you know what? It actually worked. You could almost see Adam Smith's invisible hand pushing the women towards him. He loved it. I won't go any further. So obviously, Dharma made it back and thrived in Asia. And it led him, most importantly, to Yulin. And this is the start of a very happy journey, a road which leads us all here tonight. Matt?
So to close, I'd just like to say that it's been sad not seeing Dharma every day, given that I was with him every day for 4 years or so, but we stay in touch. And just one other gift story. On our 20th birthday in a bar called Sosho, which Jasper will know very well, the bar called Sosho, Dharma gave me a yellow lava lamp for my birthday. Pretty cool present. And as a bachelor, I had this yellow lava lamp next to my bed. As a bachelor, you're allowed to do that kind of thing. When you get married, my lovely wife said there's no place for this lava lamp in our house. And so the lava lamp got moved to my son's bedroom and sits next to his bed. And every time I read him a bedtime story, I look at that lava lamp that's on and I think of Dharma and think about all the good memories. And so he's always in my mind. And he's a massive film fan. He's a massive food fan, like you talked about. It actually pains me. His waistline is the same now as it was nearly 17 years ago, which is pretty impressive in its own right. Especially because this guy, I've seen him spend £75, I don't know, that's like 150 Sing dollars on an Easter egg. A chocolate Easter egg from Godiva. And when he bought this Easter egg, he said, oh, Matthew, I need to go back to my apartment. My stomach's not great. He went back to his apartment. He ate that whole Easter egg on his own. And he still looks like this. It's unbelievable. So he has this waistline from 17 years ago, but I won't begrudge him that. But back to the lava lamp. So I think about him a lot. And we used to go to the movies a lot. And so I think it's fitting to finish with a quote from a film called Good Will Hunting. Which came out in 1997, the year we started university. It's also about two guys, one a little bit smarter than the other. But underneath that story, there's a couple that come together that didn't quite realize at the beginning that they were perfect for one another. And the quote goes, and I think it's very fitting for Dharma and Yules, but the quote goes, it doesn't matter if the guy is perfect or the girl is perfect, as long as they are perfect for each other. And I think that quote fits them very well.
Just to finish up, you know, Dharma, whether you like it or not, I think there's 15 to 16 years of experience in marriage between the two of us here. We're going to lay it on thick and give you some advice. Firstly, marriage is serious business, my friend. This is not some Star Wars battleground computer game. You have to take it seriously. As Yoda said, do or do not, there is no try. Number 2, you know, Dharma has some issues with his temper. I'm not sure if any of you have seen this. He does. And this reminds me of a time when we were flying out of India. We were checking into a flight on Indian Airlines, and there was a problem. And Dharma went ballistic. Swear words, cursing, throwing things, throwing shoes were happening. Long and short of it, we were kicked off our flight. Remember, Dharma? Anger turns to hate, and hate turns to suffering. And just, on a final note, I just wanted to say, ignore all that. There's only one piece of advice we can give you. Enjoy your time together. Life is beautiful, but I think it's even more beautiful when you have someone to share it with. So on a very personal note, I'd just like to say, and I think Matt echoes a lot of these feelings as well. Thank you for always being there for us. Thank you for being the best man at my wedding when Nikki and I were married 10 years ago. Thank you for being my brother from another mother. Thank you for being the Kumar to my Harold. And just thank you for being my old friend. I believe it is appropriate that we now present a toast as best men.
Need a drink?
We do need it, yes. But not yet. Sorry.
We're sharing wine. Woo.
We'll keep this short and sweet. We have no quotes of our own, but I can borrow one from the great Hollywood actor Kevin Bacon. And his secret to a happy marriage goes as follows: keep the fights clean and the sex dirty. Cheers.